Okay, hey, hi everybody.
Yay!
I I left the microphone off so that people didn't hear the horrible thing you just said about me.
That you're a neglectful
That
neglector.
I was a neglectful neglector. How just, hurtful. Hurtful.
Are you hurt?
I am deeply hurt. You know what I am, Dana? You know what I am? I'm wounded. I'm wounded.
You're a terrible liar.
You have cut
I'm
me
so
to the
I'm
quick.
I am so what like a hangnail. Oh, gee. So sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Exactly. Hi, people in the chat. Hi, 255 AD. Hi, Azalea. Hi, Snakebit Cat. Hi, David. Um,
Hello.
so yes, we tonight. I mentioned in the chat, and I see. Hi, Liz. 255 AD mentioned it. Picked up on what I said. That I have called this before. The darkest episode, the darkest
I
Dark Age
know you
episode.
keep going on about
Um,
that.
and I'll be interested to hear, your thoughts about that after we finish watching it. But yeah, it is a hard time.
Is that what they are going through? A hard time?
Yes, it's a song that will linger forever in our ears.
Oh God, no, they sing
No, they don't. I was just referencing the song.
from the show.
I told you that's a different song. I told you the song I've had in my head all day. Okay, so a more erudite reference to make would be, of course, the legendary folk song uh, by Stephen Foster, "Hard Times Come Again No More," right? Long have you lingered around my cabin door, oh, hard times come again no more, right? It's a legendary, great American song, right?
Okay.
Um, but I haven't had that song in my head. Knowing that we
No.
were watching Hard Time tonight, I've had the Big Boss Man's theme song
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
in my head.
How's
Yeah.
it go?
Okay. If you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia, you better read the signs, respect the law and order. You'll serve hard time. You'll be serving hard time. The big boss man will make you walk the line. You better watch it, boy, or you'll be serving hard time. Like, then it kind of goes on and on like that. So I've had it in my head all day because hard time.
Oh boy. Did we skip
Yes,
rules of
David, we
engagement?
skipped rules of engagement. Yes, we skipped rules of engagement. Got to skip a few of them. I can't. We're not going to watch every single episode, or we'll be here for 7 years. So, rules of engagement is an excellent episode, and I
But
certainly
not
did
good
not
enough
skip
for
it.
this season.
Not good enough for this season. And we're going to skip a few after this one as well. The one, the one that we're watching, the Deep Space Nine episode we're watching next after this one is For the Cause. So I believe we're skipping the next two episodes as aired, and then, you know.
Um,
Oh
and Todd,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm Dana. Hi.
That's Dana.
I'm on the Trek Reluctantly live streams. Yay.
And anything
And
else that she wants to be on, if she says, "Hey, Steve, let's make a video," I usually go, "Okay."
yep. Although you've never let me be on Ask Away.
Have you? Would you like to be on Ask Away?
No.
Okay, then. Well, then you ain't gonna be on.
Well, fine.
Oh.
So Azalea Jane, I'd heard that WGA had gotten an incredibly favorable contract worked
It
out.
was described by the guild's email to members described it as an exceptional deal. So.
And SAG-AFTRA, are they settled as well?
No, SAG-AFTRA is still on strike.
All right, keep going.
The SAG strike has not been settled. Yeah.
Well, poopy on them.
Yeah.
And by them, I mean not the actors, but like
Yeah, the AMPTP, the studios.
The people who want to like grab all the money.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the writers' strike, not being in the business, I don't know exactly. I can't speak with certainty as to how good the deal is, but I know the union, the negotiating team, and various members of the WGA that I've seen tweeting about it and stuff. The reaction to it has been incredibly positive. The sort of attitude is we won, basically. Like it's not like well, we had to settle the strike because we can't go on much longer, and when we got the best deal we could. It's like, no, this is a big deal. Like, we got a really good contract, and basically they gave us what we were saying we needed. So yeah, it's really cool. And I saw Adam Conover, who was on the negotiating team, he tweeted about it after the details of it were announced. And one of the things he said that has stayed with me is, he said we got things that they told us to our faces when this started we would never get. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Now, Azalea Jane, that's not true. They just wanted to make them lose their homes.
Yeah. We never said that we weren't going to take all their food away. I mean, and unless absolutely necessary.
We're not going to take all their food away. We're just going to make it impossible for them to buy any.
For them to afford it, exactly. It's not our fault.
So, Liz, I mean, hopefully it's almost a done deal with SAG-AFTRA, but I've gotten home shortly, so
I hope SAG-AFTRA gets as good of a deal as the Writers Guild got, because it sounds like the Writers Guild got a hell of a deal. So hopefully the actors get, well, especially because, like, I know one of the big things that, again, it was one of those things that was a big sticking point early on, that a lot of people said, they're just not going to get this, and they got it, which was the AI protection.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically says, and it basically says, based on the summary that they released, writers can choose to work with AI if they want to, but the company cannot force them to. And also they can't. Material written by AI cannot be can't be considered on the same level as, like, stuff that was actually written by a writer. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Had they been asking to not have their writing fed into AI?
I know that was asked. I don't know if I can't remember if they got that or not.
Because I'm not sure that would be AMPTP. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess they could have put in a requirement that signatories to the deal couldn't use their writing to train AI, but I don't know if I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, if somebody who is running an AI decides to, but also I think another one of the concessions was, they have to be told if they're hired to rewrite something, for example, the studios have to inform them if the material that they are hired to rewrite, if AI was used to create it. So it's just a lot of Oh, and here's another one. This was a big one to me that I was kind of surprised at, but that I was really happy to see they got. There is going to be transparency as far as streaming numbers.
That is awesome.
Now it's as far as I know, it's only between the studios and the guild. It's not, that information is not going to be made public, but the Writers Guild will know, like, how often particular shows are being watched, and they got their residual, the bonus residual based on how often a show is being watched. So yeah, I mean it was really
which cool. They should have, yeah.
Which they should have had all along, but they've got that now, and Yeah, it seems like a really good
Officially,
deal
it's
for the
official.
writers. Yeah. Hi, James. Glad you could be here. Vertibun says, we're talking about if Lieutenant Data has the right to copyright his own material. I think in terms of the way artificial intelligence like Data is treated in Star Trek, I think we could assume that Data, if Data wrote like a book or something, that he would be able to copyright it. I think Data's personhood is more or less fully recognized.
Well, so I told you that I took a nap this morning, right?
Yes, you took a nap this morning. You got up, you did your exercise, you went out and went for a walk, and then you came back home.
Excuse me.
And took a nap.
It was a run. A
run. I apologize.
Very slow run. Thank you, Runkeeper, you jerk.
You sent me the screen cap. It was what, your 109th fastest run? It's to encourage you. They say that to encourage. Keep going.
Maybe you'll actually get less pathetically slow. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
so you took a nap.
Came back, showered, and I was like, I'm gonna lie back down. And I did, and I fell asleep. It was just like 15 minutes. It was so nice. Steve, do you know why I was able to go back to sleep so easily?
I assume because you were tired.
Yeah, it helps, but usually I can't just, like, if I've just gotten up, I can't get back to sleep.
Why were you able to go back to sleep so easily?
Because I woke up at 3.
Oh my God, you woke up at 3? See, you didn't tell me this. You woke up at 3?
It really sucked.
God
I did get the laundry. I got the laundry folded and put away. I did some cleaning up in here. You can't tell because I don't let you see how depressingly messy it still is after like half an hour of cleaning. The laundry took most of the time. I only did a little bit of picking up around here. And then I'm like, okay, time to go for the run. Anyway, so, and I just, let's watch the episode because I'm really tired.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna want to go. I don't know if I'm even gonna soak in the tub. I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Forget that.
Let's watch the episode. Okay, everybody, we're going to watch the episode. So if you don't have it queued up already, go ahead and queue it up. And we will be watching, again, we're watching Hard Time, the Season 4 Deep Space Nine episode. So if you haven't got that queued up on your end already, go ahead and do that. And I will count us in here in a minute. Dana, would you like to explain how this works for folks who have never joined us?
Steve is going to say, well, start pressing buttons. Steve's going to say 3, 2, 1, play. And then when he says play, we all press play. And Steve's going to press play at the same time. That way we all are synchronized.
Yes.
Not that it's a big deal if you're off by a few seconds. There's also the timestamp of this is where we're at in the episode up here someplace.
Yep. Up top.
And up top. 2:55 AD, it was 3 in the freaking morning. And then I went and I dealt with teenagers all day. Yay.
Not the ideal situation.
Fortunately, I had plenty of caffeine, and I'm also very, very stubborn. So there's that.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, good luck breaking my heart. I'm just really... does being tired affect heartbreak?
We'll find out.
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right, you ready?
Yes. Are we going to count?
Yes, I'm going to count. I'm just making sure you're ready.
Okay. Well, let me make sure I reloaded it just now. Okay. Yeah, good. Because sometimes we didn't talk that long also.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play.
You're right. It does look pretty dark.
You.
I'm so freaking amazing. Oh, he's making a sand drawing.
You call that a mandala?
I apologize. That's probably coming through on the speakers because, like, I'm on for Zoom, but this one is not. Hey, Nicole, it says it's on my. I'm hearing this through the I'm still paying attention, but
Okay.
okay, can you hear it? Is it bothering you?
I can't hear it. No, but I mean, I'm watching the episode right now, so I mean,
Turn it away a little bit. I love the hair. Yeah, Aaron. Oh, we often do. So yeah, you might want to start that up in general. We don't want you.
Oh, Mister I Love the Ants. That's a good call. Yeah, she does look a little bit like Janeway, doesn't she? Green faced Janeway. That's hilarious. Get out of the giant hamster wheel, Miles.
They're a bunch of sadistic assholes.
Seth,
Nah,
thanks
nah,
for
nah.
asking. Jason's okay. Last I heard from him, he's doing fine. I mean, as well as
As
can be
fine as he
expected.
does.
Yeah, he's not in the hospital or anything. He wasn't feeling well over the weekend, but he's okay.
I reserve the right to tap out on Wordle.
That's fine. We can skip Wordle tonight
They'll kind of,
if you're
that's
not
so judgy. I
up
like it.
for it.
They both look like they're wearing cheap Halloween masks, not the nice kind. Oh no, no, I will. No, cheap Halloween mask. You know what a cheap Halloween mask is? It's paper. It's paper that you cut out and color yourself. And it's not even nice paper. It's the paper that you get from like a grocery store paper bag. And you cut it out and you
Ah,
have to have enough that you can like use masking tape at the back. That's a cheap Halloween mask.
so their makeup doesn't look that bad.
Well, you know rule number two, Steve.
What is rule number 2? Oh, it could always be worse.
It could always be worse.
Ah,
I was going off the other day about the lack of clocks in our school and how much that bothers me.
yes, you've told me about that.
And I've got that quote that's based on Wonder Woman about saying the watch that you let that little thing tell you what to do,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it's like, of course he's not witty. And it's like it doesn't tell you what to do. It reminds you that you have things to do. Next question. Are the Agrathi still on the space station? Hans Boimler, one of the producers. Oh, and Renee Echevarria.
Yeah. I'll let you two get caught up.
Or like a little spray that they've, and you're like, oh, it stings in my nose, and then you're like, ah, I feel better.
So like Narcan for trauma.
Or maybe it's like a chair that you sit in, and it's got a heated seat in back. And like as the minutes sink in, you're just like, nope, still got the memories, but now it's all good. Heated seats.
Drink from the coffee sponge. That was close.
Dun dun dun.
2 to 5 AD. I never really thought that it was inconsistent about that, but I'll pay attention this time and see if I can pick up on it. He's been through some terrible things this year.
As you know, Keiko.
Whose is it? It's Quark's baby.
Can you imagine someone getting out now after a 25-year prison sentence? I had a cell phone in college.
Is it too late to put her up for adoption?
That might be pizza. Pizza, pizza. Make Miles suffer more. Or you die.
That raises an interesting question. If he died in the simulation, would he die in real life or would he just wake up?
He doesn't know.
We should go back in and try it.
I'm not sure he wants to.
Probably not.
Seems like it wasn't much fun.
No, it doesn't look like fun.
Which I think is the point.
It's my secret to youth and vitality. Sorry, you're telling me drawing in the sand with my finger is not easy. Okay, you go ahead and show me. I'll try to keep up.
It looks like the entire rest of the floor. But okay.
$255.80. They designate a corner. There's a corner in there that's like the bathroom corner.
Stinky corner.
Free your mind and the rest will follow.
Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow.
Don't be so shallow.
You'd go.
It's just doodling, dude. It's not that hard. I'm insane.
I know he sounded just like a Rita Hawk.
No, don't crawl over your sand drawing. You work so hard on it.
So hard. He on the floor. Duh.
He's sleeping on the floor like an animal. Thank God things are starting to get back to normal.
Of course, that you wait back up in a spindly engineer's body. I don't know that I would call Miles spindly.
No. Hammer. It's a sonic screwdriver, Chief.
Yes, Chief.
I hate everything about my life. See, there's a corner. Well, it just so happens I don't know what's good for me. Yeah.
Oh, you mean?
Attica!
It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, they were good times. He hurt my little hand.
the real purpose for the bun.
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble. Look, man, we've all wanted to break bad on Cork, but we live in a society. I'm going to dock your pay for the Quark incident.
Well, once every 3 months is a regular basis. What? I am giving you one more chance. That's why I'm telling you to get counseling.
Yeah.
That's your chance.
If you don't start dealing with your trauma from being imprisoned, I'm going to imprison you. I don't know if I handled that right. I should have maybe just beat his ass. Oh, he dirty harried his badge.
$255.80. I don't know.
That's right, Vertibund. Picard didn't need no therapy. Terry Funk didn't wear no mouthpiece. Oh, thank God that's over.
Robot daughter. You're hearing voices that aren't there. That's schizophrenia.
Boy, good thing all these containers are completely empty for some reason.
Well, he went to the empty container corner.
He knew which one he was going to, yeah.
Exactly. He's the chief.
Kurosh, exactly. He said not now 2 or 3 times, actually. Vertibon, I believe that's actually known as the wharf rule. Wharf is the reason they keep them empty like that.
You don't know that either. He's not the man he used to be.
Nice.
Thank you. Well, all she demanded repeatedly was a little attention. And I yelled at her. No, Mr. I Love the Ants. He needs that for the drama.
Vertibon, no, he turned it all the way up. It's on maximum.
Yeah, Mr. I love the ants. You were saving it for both of us. Not necessarily.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely I was.
I mean, it's entirely possible that he was holding out on him. Julian, what day is the food? Verbatim, I thought that's where I thought they were going. I thought he was going to go to sleep, not wake up, and that was going to be Miles's breakfast. Well, Aaron, he didn't have to because the next day they started feeding him again. Yeah, something like that. Ha 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 ha. We end with a chuckle from everybody. No, he agrees to go to therapy. Drugs
He's still
and
doing
therapy
therapy,
is the
yeah.
moral.
Drugs and therapy. Oh, hey, my family. I'm gonna go to that first therapy appointment now, actually.
Bye. Robot child.
The
Yay.
end. So, thoughts?
Why were don't really remember why were they saying it was like better than prison just because it was like less expensive, easier to maintain because it's just this little
Yeah,
bed that they
probably
do.
something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
You just put the guy in a hamster wheel for a few minutes and he thinks he's been in prison for 20 years. You know? They probably put everybody through the same program, but all of their traumatized ex-cons probably remember killing HR.
Baby, he was born to die. Whoa.
There you go. But anyway, so do you What do you think about, now that you've watched it, what do you think about my assessment of it, that it's the darkest Star Trek episode?
I don't know. It's really dark. I can't think about how little it means for me to say I can't remember a darker episode.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm just in terms of like, because like here's why I say it's the darkest episode. Because I I can't think of another Star Trek episode that I've ever seen, and I've seen all of them, uh, where a character is depicted as being on the brink of suicide, and it plays as emotionally realistic as that. I remember there was an episode of TNG that I actually made a joke about in my video that went up today, where it's an episode of TNG where they can't dream, and they don't have any dreams for like 2 weeks, and it drives them nuts, and they start hallucinating and stuff, and eventually it gets to Worf, to the point that like Worf leaves his station and runs to his quarters, and he's about to stab himself with it. He's going to kill himself because he can't stand it anymore. But that's all played very melodramatically.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be sort of suspenseful and sort of like, oh no, Worf, don't,
Dun
right?
dun dun.
But O'Brien with the phaser in the cargo bay, that feels emotionally very raw and very real. And I can't think of another time that a Star Trek show has gone to that place emotionally, where, I mean, it's like you can tell, O'Brien is a regular, his name is in the credits. Intellectually he's not going to die, but it feels really, really serious, and really authentic on an emotional level, even though it's a guy in a costume holding a ray gun to his chin, you know. No, David, I don't think in the pale moonlight. I'm talking about it. I mean, emotionally. I don't think in the pale moonlight. I mean, in the pale moonlight is certainly a very dark episode, but no, I don't think in the pale moonlight is nearly as dark as this one, just for what I just described, because we see a character get to a point where they're moments away from killing themselves, and it feels emotionally real.
Yeah, I guess somehow some of it depends on what you're calling dark. It's not just that.
True.
Um, and like it feels to me like you're saying that this deals with suicide and suicidal tendencies and suicidal ideation in a realistic way, and no other Star Trek episode has done that. But I it that makes it seem like it's dark because of the topic, and I'm like, I don't know that. I just don't know enough about the topics that Star Trek has dealt with, and it has dealt with like a lot of different stuff, a lot of social issues,
Right.
but and also since it's Star Trek, there's a limit as to how dark you can get.
No, yes, that's true. And
More than that might take the space fantasy feel of it away.
yeah, well, like people in the chat were joking, and you said your parent you had the same thought. They're like, well, maybe O'Brien's going to eat this guy, maybe, and that's a little like, I mean, obviously that would have been an incredibly dark way they could have gone, but yeah, it's like this, this was airing in syndication
I,
in
Yeah.
the late 90s. They weren't going to do that. But,
yeah, but and again, I think I don't know. It is dark. I don't know if anything's been darker.
okay.
I think they could have.
I don't expect you to. Yeah.
I think it could have been darker if they essentially had not had his reaction be suicidal at all. It could have been darker. Have him come out of it, and he's killed this guy, and he's fine with it.
He's okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Not so much that it was kill or be killed, but well, I thought he was holding out on me, and
Yeah.
Not that it was him or me, but I just felt like killing him, and that's okay.
And maybe like the other characters, and maybe like the other characters know about it. Like it's not a secret. They know that part of his simulation was that he killed his cellmate, and everybody else is like worried about him, and they think the reason he's not talking about it is because he's ashamed of it. And then the turn at the end is, no, I'm not ashamed of it. And that's what scares me.
It doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or no, not what scares me, but it scares everybody else. It doesn't scare him. And they're trying to figure out how to return. He really has lost his humanity. I mean, the episode would have to be arced differently because, of course, you got to have Miles back by the end because it's just, it's a one shot.
And if they had done that, it would have been, because I know you, I'll mention this and then we can wrap up if you want. Do you feel like skipping Wordle and just calling it a night? Okay, I kind of figured. Okay. But one of the criticisms of the episode that I think is valid is that it does kind of wrap things up in a neat little bow at the end. I mean, there is the sort of lip service to, well, this is going to be a long road, Miles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this isn't, and they did the same thing with Captain Picard, when he got back from being turned into a Borg. And then also when he was tortured by the Cardassians, they kind of did the same thing. It was the implication that, well, he's going to be dealing with this for a while. And then we never see him deal with it.
It's just all off screen.
And the same thing happens with Miles. And, it's like, it's an episodic show and it's, one episode at a time. And it's not like unusual for Star Trek, but I do think, even though I really, really like this episode, and I think this is a fantastic episode, it would have helped maybe a little if just maybe one other time after this, if O'Brien had mentioned it, maybe, I don't think it should have been a thing where like, oh, now O'Brien's in therapy and we bring it up all the time. I don't think we needed to do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't need, but just, maybe in another, a year or two later, have an episode where something similar happens to another character and O'Brien can kind of share his experience and say, I go see a therapist, I still see a therapist twice a week about it. And, talking about it helps, but you never really completely get over it or something like that, to sort of let us know that, okay, even though we don't see it, it is still a part of his life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it did surprise me that nobody brought up the fact that, of course, I mean, he didn't, I don't remember how much he said because it cuts to the memory and then it cuts back to Julian saying, so you killed him. So he's been telling Julian about this particular memory.
Right.
But, like we said, it's entirely possible that the dude really was holding out on him, like just an asshole.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because it's O'Brien's interpretation of the food he finds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I guess my even honestly, even if he told he told Julian, you were saving it for the both of us, it makes I don't know. Julian's not a therapist, is he? I mean, he said you can come talk to me. So maybe he is.
As far as we know, he's just an MD. He's not a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
Because so maybe he doesn't have the expertise to deal with it. But getting Miles to question that and to question the reality of something that he went through because it wasn't question
Right.
his interpretation of the events. How do you know he was saving it for you? How do you know? Because the truth is, you don't. And also, it's all made
Yeah. Well, and if they had gone that route, it might have made it might have turned the episode's focus a little more toward the critique of prison in general,
up. Yeah.
which I think is still there, but
Yes.
it's mostly about Miles's personal experience
Yeah.
and
The
his
the the,
trauma
the
and
how
his dealing
trauma
with
can
it.
change somebody, can affect somebody.
Right. Like if they had made it explicit that, well, actually HR was holding out on him, and in the
Yeah.
moment that, he killed him for the reason he thought he killed him, you know what I mean? Like, then that makes it a little more, you can use that to be like, well, this is like, this is what the prison experience did to these people. This is
Yeah.
because they were mistreated like this and they were starving and they were pushed to this
And we
limit.
do get some of that already, and so they may have just decided
Yeah.
that's just that's more than we need. We also want to focus on this. We don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And 255 AD says he has a fan theory about the simulation forced a Federation citizen to face starvation, which would be unimaginable for a person from Earth because Earth is post scarcity, so nobody ever starves on Earth. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I don't really think you need to take it that far. I mean, you know.
I mean,
And the
it's
other
still
thing is,
imaginable. Might not be very
yeah.
accurate imagination.
Well, and also, I mean, like,
I mean, I can imagine starving, and I've never been starving, so why not?
yeah, you figure like, oh, yeah, I've never had to go through it, but I know I wouldn't like it.
Yep, it would suck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
So
so shall we call the festivities to an early close so you can go to bed? And so no Wordle this week, everybody. We'll play Wordle next. Are we doing a show next week as per usual?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I think
we'll
after. Well, yeah. Well, I'll try to double check my calendar. I didn't think to bring it home tonight. I should have.
That's okay.
I'll try to double check my calendar so that you can say something on.
Oh, on Friday.
Ask Away, where you have your show. Which, if you are a patron or a member of this channel, you can do the thing. You can send in a question, and Steve will read it on the air to everybody. Indeed. Unless it's got a slur in it. Don't do that. Don't be that kind of person.
I won't. Yeah, no, I won't. Yeah.
Nope. No bad stuff. Good night, Aaron. And then hopefully, I think next week I'm good. I think it's the week after that. It's either the week after that or the week after that. I've got my ESOL class. Yeah, I'm
okay. So hopefully it's next week, but whenever the next time we do this, we're watching Poirot again. And the episode of Poirot we're watching next is Double Sin.
Oh, I like that one!
Oh, you know that one. Okay, then.
Yep.
That's a good reaction.
It's good. Yeah,
so that and then the next Deep Space Nine episode we're watching, whenever that is, is For the Cause, which is a very important episode for a certain character and for certain plot developments in the series.
Can you give me one guess, and if I'm right, you'll tell me that I'm right?
Take a guess. Yes.
Is it Kira?
No, it is not Kira. No.
Well, I'm not going to say those things because this is on the air and live, and somebody would find this and be like,
told you.
There's Miss Cole. She swears.
She speaks like a human being when she's not in the classroom.
Oh, no. Do you want this sort of person teaching your children? All right.
Anyway. All right. So I'll see you on Friday, everybody. We'll hopefully be back on Wednesday. If not, I'll let you know between now and then. But
don't forget to turn in your questions.
Yes.
So that Steve doesn't have to do all the talking. No, well, I mean, you do all the talking anyway. But some of the words aren't yours.
Azalea
Jane. Yes, Azalea Jane, that's exactly what he was going for.
May he rest in peace.
I betrayed my uniform? Oh, like because I cuss?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear more of it, you can join my Patreon where I cuss
There you go.
at Steve on a monthly basis.
That's true.
That's true. That's our. Speaking of, it's still September, so I'm good.
Yes,
I
we have to record
figure out
one
what I'm
next
gonna do
month at some point, but yes, this month you're covered.
Yay!
All right, we'll let
Bye,
Dana,
everybody.
we'll let Dana get some sleep. We'll see you next
I'll
time,
turn into a
everybody.
puddle. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.